Long time no see, but we're back at it with another breakdown and review. This one's a little more local, specifically the Midwest, and truth be told, I cannot think of a more polarizing food item for the region. You either love it or you hate it. For some, it's the cinnamon. For others, it's the lack of beans. I, for one, fall under the love it category. If you reside outside the Midwest, you may be unfamiliar with the chain, but familiar with the concept of Cincinnati-style chili. Today, on the Butcher Block, we have the Skyline Coney. A chili dog by any other name, the Skyline Coney is composed of the following: a small soft bun steamed to order, a specially made small diameter pork and beef frankfurter, classic yellow mustard, onions, then the most polarizing ingredient, the chili. All that is topped with an absurd amount of finely shredded mild cheddar. Before we rip into this, here's the nutrition info. Calories, not too bad, nothing too crazy. Of course, this is subject to whoever is handling the cheese station. By the looks of it here, there is a 2-to-1 ratio of cheese to wiener on this bun, not including what is left in the clamshell. Outside of the mess, there's no complaints from me. I can easily crush 4 or 5 of these in a sitting. Now let's go ahead and weigh this thing. Coming in at 4.4 ounces ain't bad, considering one of these will set you back $3.29. Now, since I have 2 here, let's figure out the second one and we'll split the difference. Our second little guy is 4.8 ounces. Between the two, that is 4.6, putting us at 76 cents per ounce. Let's see how this stacks up against the last 2 episodes. First place isn't bad at all. Now that we're done with the cost section, let's move on to the cross section. This is going to be one of the more unique looking cross sections we've done so far. Also might be the messiest due to our chili and cheese situation. Let's give it a chop. Though delicious, it kind of feels like my questionable dietary choices are staring back at me. While here, let's compare the diameter of our tasty little guy to a store-bought wiener. The biggest question of the day, did we remember to put the batteries in? Sure did. And FYI, what you're about to witness is a failure on all fronts. Not one. Not 2. It was at this point I started questioning whether or not I would finish this video. This is a lesson that all things in life require persistence.
This is the most fight ever.
In the intro, we mentioned a specially made small diameter frankfurter. Let's see how this stacks up to Mr. Meyer. Our grocery store hot dog measures at 20.69 across, or roughly the size of a U.S. nickel. And for Mr. Skyline, let's go ahead and give him a little pull here. He measures at 20.34. There is hardly a difference here, but it should be noted that yours truly forgot to boil the store-bought wiener before comparing the two. And when researching this video, I learned that hot dogs can expand between 10 and 20% when boiled. The more you know. So we may have to revisit. But at the end of the day, we all know it's not about the size of your wiener, but how you present it. So let's take a bite and review. The bun is a bun. There's a good snap from the dog, and just enough zip from the onion and mustard to not overstep the real star of the show, the chili, which melts just enough of the cheese to occasionally give you the smallest of cheese pools. Even though there is more cheese here than anything else, the chili really sticks out with sweet and savory notes amplified by all the salt and fat around it. And speaking of chili, I mentioned at the top that this was one of the more polarizing food items in the Midwest, and that is because of what's inside this little container. Cincinnati-style chili, which predates Skyline by decades, has been around since the 1920s. However, the version we're looking at today was introduced in 1949 by Nicholas Lambrinides, an immigrant from Kastoria, Greece. Looking at its consistency, it's clearly more of a sauce than a stew. Given Lambrinides' Greek heritage, it's understandable that his creation is much closer to a salsa quema or a Greek meat sauce than it is to a traditional chili con carne that we are used to here in the States. The actual recipe is kept secret, but the core components are finely ground beef, tomato sauce, and a closely guarded spice blend, the star of which is cinnamon. Note that there are no beans. It is the inclusion of cinnamon and lack of beans that has been at the center of this debate for many a year, but the debate of beans and chili is for another video. However, the comparison of chili versus sauce is not lost on its creator. Next up, I have the three-way. In the bowl, we have spaghetti noodles, chili, and cheese. I know some of you are thinking chili on spaghetti, but trust me, this is tasty. The consistency of the chili bodes well as a sauce for the noodles. The combination of the finely ground beef and tomato sauce allows the chili to really grab onto the noodles. And when you include the glue that is melted cheese, it all just kind of works together. Personally, I am more of a four-way kind of guy. The only difference is that adds onions, or beans if you prefer. And just like the Coney, super tasty, super flavorful, a bowl of this will stick to your insides and immediately activate nap mode. If you really want to make it a commitment, they'll even put it in a burrito for you. I know the McRib from episode 1 was pretty messy, but this may be the messiest thing we have actually had on the block so far. There is chili and cheese everywhere. Thanks for stopping by to learn a little bit about a regional specialty today. I'm aiming for a jerry-rig everything kind of vibe with these videos, but with a focus on food. Trying to help people be a little more informed about some of their favorite food items and maybe have a laugh or two along the way. If this kind of content is for you, please like and subscribe. And until next time, remember to be kind.